This week, we are previewing the girls' side, and we will start with Cocalico. And for Cocalico, they have lost a lot of senior leadership from last year's team, so it falls on the shoulders of junior Kirsten Shipton. Here is what she kind of did last year in a supporting role, 7.2 points per game. She hit 33 pointers, which was towards the tops in the league, a 30% three-point shooting mark there, and 79% from the free throw line, a Section 3 second team All-Star. They are expecting big things from her this year over in Cocalico. Tim, we will let you lead off here because girls is going to be your and I's assignment this winter. So what are you looking forward to with Cocalico as Kirsten Shipton kind of jumps into that leadership role here?
Yeah, well, first of all, I have to echo what you said. Cocalico losing a lot of talent. Especially, it's going to be weird walking into that gym, Chad, not seeing Hannah Custer out on the floor. She just meant so much. Obviously, she was a great scorer, but a great leader. Shipman, we saw her last year a couple of times drain some long-range three-pointers. She's got a possibility probably by the time she finishes her career in a couple of years to get over 100 three-pointers. One thing that I noticed about her last year, she was an unselfish player, Chad, in that she had a couple of open looks but gave it away to her senior teammates. But they're going to be looking to her now. She's going to be really the big gun coming back. She's coming off of a knee injury too, so we're going to have to see how that happens early on. But expect her to just carry the team this year, Chad. She's going to be one of the only few returning players who really have a lot of varsity experience last year. So it's going to be her that they're going to be looking to early on.
Yeah, I do agree with that, and Eric, as you get set to talk here. Dealing with a bit of an injury, but they're confident she will be back and ready to go. Maybe not 100% in that first game that we have on Friday, but certainly we'll get there very soon. What are you looking forward to with Kirsten here as Cocalico gets to start their season on Blue Ridge on Friday?
Well, I kind of have to agree with the fact that now she is going to take over this leadership role that Hannah Custer had kind of controlled and had the reins as far as that team is concerned. And I think the thing that she's going to have to get acclimated to is because they did lose so many players to graduation and there's some younger players coming up, she's going to have to be ready because I'm sure defenses are going to be keying on her. I'm sure she's going to see a lot of double teams. So this is going to be an opportunity. And Tim had just mentioned it too, where last year she was passing up some shots to dish it off. Now she might have to dish it off if she's going to be having, four hands in her face when she tries to go up for a shot. So, but she's got the talent. I mean, we saw when she came on board as a freshman, she was lighting it up. And those 33 pointers, don't forget, they lost how many games last year because of games that were missed because of the pandemic. So, when she is on her game, she can light it up. And I think she is definitely going to be one to watch. She's just got to be ready for opposing defenses because I think she's going to see a lot of different looks.
They are going to have to make her earn every single point she has this year. Yep. She is at 62 total three-pointers, which is pretty impressive after 2 years because that is fifth all-time in Cocalico history, so she is chasing some of that. Obviously, we'll have to work for every one of those. Coach Garrett said that no one has ever made over 100 three-pointers in their program's history, the leaders in the 90s. So we will see if that happens, whether it's the end of this year, beginning of next year, would be really cool there. All right, so that's Cocalico. Now when we shift, we've got to go over to Ephrata, just down the road there, a bit of that backyard brawl. And it's Jasmine Griffin. And boy, when she burst onto the scene for these Ephrata Lady Mounts in her freshman year, we knew she was going to be a player. Last year, almost 18 points a game for the Lady Mounts as they were able to claim a co-Section 2 championship. She was named the Section 2 MVP and a first-team All-Star. She was one of the best players in the section and in the league, and I'm sure Coach Cerullo is looking for big things from her. So Eric, as you get to see Jasmine just grow and become a better player year after year after year, what are you excited about seeing in her Lady Mounts career?
Well, I think it's just the opposite of what Kirsten Shipton is going to be dealing with at Cocalico. Here, Ephrata has got a lot of girls coming back. They lost one player, Olivia Fedorchak, to graduation. They've got a ton of returning players. That's a lot of experience. And girls that can shoot the threes, too. Bryn Adams was one that scored a lot from beyond the three-point line. But I think the thing that impresses me with Griffin is not only can she hit that outside shot, but she's not afraid of that dribble drive and to go down the lane with it as well. So I think this could cause a lot of matchup problems for opposing defenses, because then she's got that opportunity either to shoot and score or dish it off, because there's a lot of talent she can pass off to, and those girls will need to finish it off. But I think Ephrata is going to be a team that no doubt is going to be contending in Section 2 this year.
I do think Ephrata is going to reckon for that Section 2 title. It was them and E-Town last year. E-Town got them in the tiebreaker to get into the playoffs, but Ephrata should be right there. Lots of experience there. As you can see, Griffin just loves to get in the lane. Tim, your thoughts on Jasmine? This will be the third year we see her on the varsity level.
Well, what a treat. We've got we had 4 great players, but just 2 that are just tremendous. Maddie Nyer, we'll talk about her in a second, from Manheim Central. Then you got Jasmine Griffin, who I believe play on the same club team. So they're very close friends. But the one thing about Griffin is she can do it inside and outside. Great dribble, great leader on the court. Eric, you talked about Bryn Adams shooting those threes. Kara Tisi comes back as well. We saw her. She can light it up from threes. I think she had 26 last year. So one of the things that Ephrata, I believe, is going to probably try to do is to rain the threes from the outside, and then have Griffin with her height. She's going to be cleaning up some loose balls if they don't go in down low. This is going to be a very tough team to defend. Section 2, I believe, is going through the Ephrata Mountaineer Gym.
Yeah, again, you could see in the preview in the paper that E-Town lost some players just like Cocalico, so they will have to replace there. So it does seem like the section is for the taking for Ephrata. By the way, they've won the section, I think, 1 or 2 of the last years in a row here. So they are obviously a team that knows what they're doing. They're in the system one more year. All right, so Ephrata, we've done Cocalico. Now let's move over to Manheim Central, and one of the big names in the LL League is Maddie Nyer. And she is also coming into her 3rd year and really has just lit up the first 2 seasons on the hard court. 21.2 points per game, had 11 rebounds, so about a double-double per game for her. Pretty good at the free throw line. She was all-state. She was first team in Section 3, and really the only reason she didn't win the MVP was because Hannah Custer was in Section 3. And as you can see, 784 career points. Eric, this is one of those players that does not come around very often. And when she flashed on the court for the Lady Barons in her freshman year, we all knew she was going to be special. How exciting is it to see her now in her junior year with such a veteran team coming back in Manheim?
Well, and you talk about a splash. I think she scored 28 points in her very first varsity start. So yeah, that's quite an impact. You know, and the thing is too, I mean, as a tremendous basketball player, but you know, Tim, you've seen her on the volleyball court and in the spring as a track athlete. Maddie Nyer might be one of the best 3-sport athletes that has come through Lancaster County, maybe ever. I mean, there has been some talent before in the past, but I mean, Maddie has just done everything and done it well. And the thing is too, even with her size, she handles the ball extremely well. So she scores, she rebounds, she dishes off. You saw the free throw percentage at 79%, but she handles the ball so well at the same time. This team as well, with a lot of experience coming back. Don't forget, they only had 8 girls on the roster last year. So everybody got playing time. And I think that's going to go a long distance this year as far as the success of Manheim Central is concerned. Again, it's going to be fun to see, you know, what Maddie Nyer and these Lady Barons can do this year, because I think that they've got a very, very good-looking team.
It is a dangerous team. It sounds like LS is also back to being to form, so should be some nice battles in Section 3. Tim, what are you looking forward to when we get Manheim Central on the channel in a few weeks? And also, we're kind of on a big milestone watch here this year.
Yeah, it's possible. You and I were talking before we came on the air tonight that it's possible that she could reach 1,000 points this year. Going to have to average probably at least, 20. Might be able to do that maybe mid-January. But she, outside too, we were sort of looking at it, Chad, that she could possibly get into the 1,900 point total by the time she is done. We had talked about too how much COVID really put a dent into that last year, because they only played about 20 games. So if you add at least another 5-6 onto that, think of that, it'd be another 100, 150, 200 points possibly. but there's not one, not two, not three, but 5 returning players back from that Manheim Central team last year. Summer Bates is going to be a key. She runs the floor great, can dish it. Maddie Nyer, of course, you pick a spot on the floor, I don't care where it is, she's going to hit that shot and she's going to take it. I think the only thing that Manheim Central really has to worry about, and Eric mentioned a little bit, was about the depth. If they get a couple of key players hurt, it could be a tough season for them. But they overcame it last year, had 8 on the entire team, Chad, and they knew how to play. Remember, most of those girls played the top 5 or 6 the entire season, every minute. So conditioning, I don't think that's going to be a problem this year.
Yeah, from what I've seen, the team is a lot deeper this year, so that'll be good for Coach Hayes over there. He's excited. I'm excited to see them, and of course to see Maddie Nyer, plus many of the other young ladies over there as well. All right, our final school will be Warwick alphabetically, and as we get to Warwick, this is an interesting situation here, and we do have to give it a little bit of context. So when we take a look at Warwick's, one of their leading scores that we are estimating here, let's show you kind of the tail of the tape for Aubry Williamson. It's been an interesting career for her, finally senior year. Last year, only got to play 7 games because COVID affected that with close contacts and everything, and it was just such a weird year. Sophomore year, missed most of that with an injured foot. And freshman year, they had a really good team, and she came off the bench a lot. So really, Aubry has not had a chance to show what she's made of, but the coaching staff really thinks this is the year that she's going to make her mark. We do too, which is why we're giving her a chance here on the program. So guys, as we get ready to discuss a little bit of Warwick, it's an interesting wrinkle. Eric, they have to replace all 5 starters from last year's team. That's a tough task.
Yeah, and a couple of all-stars as well, and Elise Balmer and Lauren Pyle. You know, and the thing is too, I think in girls basketball, I think the most important position is the point guard. You know, you have to have a girl that can handle the ball, get it up the floor, because we have seen, and Lancaster Catholic always comes into mind, you know, this press that they throw on. If you don't have somebody that can handle the point, handle the pressure, that can make a long night for your offense. So I think this is where Aubry is going to excel, is that she will run the point. She's got that experience. She's going to be counted on as far as the leadership is concerned. So it's all going to start there. She's got the talent. She can do it. We have seen it through the years. Doesn't necessarily have the numbers necessarily to back it up, but she does the things that don't show up in the box score. And I'm sure, you know, the team is fine with that. If she gets the wheels in motion to put this offense in gear for Warwick, so be it, and get the ball into the hands of the scorers and let it go.
The third Williamson sister to come through the program, it was Emily, then it was Jess, now it's Aubry. So that's really cool to see that over the last few years. Tim, your thoughts on Warwick here as we get to see them coming up on Friday?
You have to be honest. It's going to hopefully be a better year than what it looks like on the stat sheet. When you look at the players that are coming back, and I just read that Demi Perzis is going to be lost for this season. I saw her in a couple games last year, Chad, that we did. That she a lot of threes. But the returning players, when you take their average scores, don't even add up to 10 points a game. So somebody's going to have to come up big. If Aubry Williamson, as Eric said, is going to be the one that's going to be penetrating and going to be dishing off, they're going to have a scorer. Could be a tough year in Lidditz this year. But you know what? As Eric pointed out, the one thing about girls basketball, it's a slower game. And if they can get their offense down at the beginning of the year and get some confidence going into section play, they could make some noise. This is a team that won 7 of 8 of their last games last year, Eric. Came on with a flourish. Now, I understand that they had all their top 5 players back last year, but those players that are coming back this year are on the bench. So they realize what it takes. Maybe a little bit of, at the beginning of the year, a little bit of suffering, but what that's going to do, it's going to make you play harder come mid-January.
Alrighty, so that is our high school girls basketball preview. We went through all 4 of our local teams. 2 of them will be on the channel this Friday night, and it will be our first live basketball game of the winter season. We're so excited to bring that to you. And again, let's show you what is coming up. It'll be Warwick and Cocalico going at it in the Cocalico Girls Tip-Off Tournament. December 10th on Friday, 7:30 p.m. Join us live on the channel for that as we kick off our winter sports schedule. You can see that complete listing on our website, brc11.com.